All right, hello everyone. It is Tuesday, January 16th, 2024, and this is the video for today. So, as always, we're going to look at the market. We're going to look at the pick from the last video, and we are going to give a pick for today. So, let's start with the market here on a D1 basis. You can see to start the week, we had a gap down. There's a couple of negative news headlines, but nothing crazy. On a fundamental side, we know that the CPI news is already out, slightly hot, but still good overall. Unemployment is still good. There's no bank failures. There are no changes to the Fed rhetoric. We had some Fed speak today, but he didn't really say anything that we already didn't know. So it's easy to put a lot of headlines into the selling. Just follow the price action and see what that tells you. Use the fundamental analysis and see what drives the news to give you some context, but trade what you see, trade where the smart money is going. So on a fundamental basis, my bias is still bullish. Now, on a shorter term basis here, you can see that with a nice bullish engulfing candle like last week, managed to poke above this high over here, marginal new high, coming back down. And we are pretty much right around support at AVWAP-Q and around the 8 EMA as well. So I'm still mildly bearish for this move over here on the past few days. And we're still above this prior low from January 11th, right? So I kind of view this as, and if we, maybe an M15 chart's a little bit better here. All right, here's our move up. On the 11th, we go up nice and high. Now we get a little bit choppier, move up, choppy high, move down, and you can see that this low is still higher than this low here. So when we start to get a break of this trend line over here, if I were to draw a break, this trend line over here, you can see that we're in a pretty clear negative channel right now. Break of this negative channel, great entry point, and we can go into the next high. So on a short term, still bullish on this move, but today I am a little bit more neutral to bearish. And you can see why. We have this channel over here. And let me draw that in a little bit better on the M5 chart. I think that that is a nice parallel line for our channel. We are bearish. We had a gap down, first move down on the bearish cycle here. And if you look at the beginning of the day, I really like this strong move up into the gap on the bullish cross. And we had a nice candle here. We filled in the gap, and we had the bear cycle. We had some Fed speak coming in here, pretty big candle. And then here was kind of the key to me for the day. Because here we could either be a lower or higher low, and we surge higher into the day, which is what I was thinking, especially on these gap down days. Typically the market's a little bit oversold. Buyers step in because they like that price, and we can get a nice day of gains and action ahead. But not the case today. So big volume spike there. We have a bear cycle. So it's like, all right, let's see what this bear cycle brings. And boom, we are pretty much to the low of the day. We don't pierce it yet. And say, all right, this is a pretty deep retracement, but we're still decently bullish for the day, right? We haven't broken through the low of the day. So I don't think the bottom is going to fall out. If you look at the price action, steady on the way up and way down, but on this over here, there's some decent steady price action, but just a lot of noise and chop here as it can't get past the gap fill. It didn't quite have the momentum. So this bullish cycle is not producing and it's diverging. 1OP is rolling over, and we actually break through the low of the day right over here, trigger some stealth stops, and buyers like this price, and we surge back into the range. So not a lot of continuation on the other side, right? We test one end of the channel, can't break through, compress and reject, and go down and test the bottom end of the channel, can't break through, compress and reject. So not a great day for doing a lot of trades. I did take a SPY long here, and I took the loss when we had this divergence over here on this. I wanted this bull cycle to produce, and it couldn't quite produce, so took the loss there. But if you're in the right stock, then you can get out for a much better price. That's why we trade relative strength and not the market. So let's look at the pick from last video, which was spot. So I took spot here, took a half position, and spot is looking really nice today. And as always, I'm putting stuff in the wrong chart. So let's take a look at why spot is so great. So I took spot yesterday. It's a nice grindy stock. You can see it doesn't diverge too far from its 8 EMA. Tests it, moves up higher, tests it, moves up higher. It's breaking through some of these horizontal levels. So really nice D1. You can see it's above all the SMAs, AVWAP-Q, good strongest earning reaction. Test the gap up and held, and we have room to this high plus trend line, which is my target. Now spot today, first test the 8 EMA, so pretty weak. Then we had a really strong rebound where we pretty much reversed this action very quickly. And here's the key tell here. Markets, it's going up, spot's going up. Now market's starting to roll over. Spot is compressing pretty well. A little bit of a sell-off here, but it's recovered quite nicely. So it's held this high of the day breakout over here very, very well. It's above VWAP. The volume was decent earlier in the day. A little bit waned now, but the price action is quite strong. There's not a lot of selling going on in Spotify. So still doing really well. You're pretty much at about break even right now with setting the pullback. And I added to the position on this SPY bullish cross around here, around 1250. So with this bullish cross here in SPY, I like the price action in spot. So I added on this move right here pretty much at my entry price. So a full position at my entry price, and have a lot more information to work with and more confidence in the trade because it has held its ground while the market is going down. So spot continues to be pretty good. Let's look over the other positions I'm in. And the other trade I took today too was Uber. So you can see Uber is holding up pretty well relative to the market today. I took the put credit spread, the 58, 57 put credit spread. We have this horizontal support right over here at the $60 level, and you have a VWAP-E at the $58 level. The 8 EMA, sorry, not the 8 EMA, the 50 SMA is sloping up as well. And this put credit spread expires at February 9th, which is before earnings. So, right, give it a couple of days. This 50 SMA is going to be crossing up. And I'm going to have that level of support as well. A level you can see that it has respected in the past. So, we expect it to also provide some support in the future. And again, you don't have to be right on Uber, right? Like, I'm not super bullish. There's a couple of trend lines it has to get through. It's kind of rejecting over here. But I like the relative strength that it's showing today. And I'm still bullish on the market. So I believe that those two forces will have me say, hey, this stock is going to be above $58 in a few weeks. So took Uber today. Other positions I'm in of the NVIDIA put credit spreads. Let's look at our put credit spreads first. These require very little monitoring, but we check them once, maybe twice a day, the beginning or in the end. So NVIDIA, really nice move up here, and this is really in the money from when I took it. Over here, you can see NVIDIA $40 move since then. Really, really nice move. The other put credit spread I have is Airbnb. So this one is not doing as hot. It dropped down a little bit with the market today, but we have a ton of support at this level. So one, we have a lot of support to lean on. And then two, if Airbnb breaks through the support, then we have a very clear exit point for the position. So I am in, I believe, the 130, 129 put credit spread. So not worried about that. And even if it breaks through, we have plenty of time for this to work in our favor. Remember, we have the market also in our favor. ZM, put credit spread. ZM, not a great day. It's not what I wanted to see today. Gap down, but it didn't drop down with the market. It's forming a nice base over here. So I like what I'm seeing. It looks like it's holding that resistance. It is a bit of a choppy stock, right? You can see it moves up, test this level, breaks out, test this level. So again, put credit spread, just give this stock some time. All right, swings that I'm in. So spot we already went over. Let's look at ramp. So ramp, I'm still in. You could have taken profits yesterday. Today, had a little bit of a gap down here, but has managed to recover. I had added to the position over here. And you can see, ramp doesn't get too far away from its 8 EMA, so a little bit of profit taking today. When it hits at 8 EMA, we should get a nice rebound and test this trend line to the upside over here. So that's still my target. Not worried about ramp. Second one I am in is AMGN. So this stock is not performing super well, but the D1 is still intact. Showing some weakness. Looks like it still has to digest some of those gains. As long as this candle holds and buyers are interested, then I'm not worried. So let's put an alert over here. So it shouldn't break through that candle. Now, if it does break through that candle, then I am going to be out of the position, take the loss. This stock did not do what I wanted it to do. I do have my SPY swing that I added from here, so I'm still in there. And when the market challenges all-time high, which is coming up around here, I can evaluate the price action over there and take profits, right? If we hit the high of the year and or the all-time high and we're kind of struggling, we're not really doing too much, might take some profits and look for another entry point. If we blow through the high of the year, right, because we're compressing, we're forming this lower, we tested this breakout, made a marginal new high. If this, we have a higher low from here, break it up, right? We know that buyers are interested because they're gobbling up shares. You can see a cup and handle formation for those who like your chart patterns. I don't really do chart patterns, but I just follow kind of the intuitive signals from the highs and lows, the trends, the price action, the volume that the market's giving me. One trade I took today, AMD. AMD is a fantastic trade. So you can see here, broke through this level. And you notice I did mention AMD last week. I took it last week here. I closed it for a profit here because we were seeing some weakness of the trend line. Today, it broke through all of those. And AMD has held up really well. Really nice, strong price action. Resisted the market pull down for as long as it can. Eventually got dragged down, but it's holding VWAP. It's holding this break over here. This is a long trend. This is a long-term horizontal resistance all the way from 2021. If we look at the monthly chart, or sorry, the weekly chart. Let me pull up the weekly chart here. Yes, you can see a lot of wicks and closes at this level, which tells me that this is a resistance point that's been broken. So if we retest this level and it holds, then we are in good shape to challenge the all-time high on AMD. And that is my profit target. This high is 164.46. So I'm going to take profits at 164. That is my target on AMD. And would be a nice $6 trade, I believe. So AMD is one trade I'm in today. I did take it here when we were making a new high. The market went down. AMD is still pretty good, but I'm not going to add to AMD until I see the market make a new high and I see AMD follow suit. So it goes a little bit against my rule of waiting for that prior day high because I took it earlier in the day. However, given the price action, I thought, okay, we're good poised to make a nice run up, right, and attacking this high of the day. So that's kind of what I was thinking. And when you take it earlier in the day, you have the risk of getting the intraday candle wrong, the D1 candle wrong on the market, right? There's less information you have to work off with, more time for the market to do something. So, that's kind of the risk you take. I still like AMD here and, just have to give it a little bit more time. So on these days, not a lot of trading to be done, but it's a great time to find some relative strength. So what I would like to see here, and we're going to do a custom search because those are pretty interesting and you can really fine tune it. So I have this template here with these stock preferences I like. So I like good relative volume, some good stock price. These are contradicting filters, so that way I can quickly edit the template. No ETFs, good average volume for liquidity, some volatility in the stock. So what I'm going to do here is a couple things. First, I want a stock that is above VWAP today. Second thing, all right, and we can put up all these here. So a lot of items is coming up over here. Above VWAP, good relative volume. Let's also do a stock that is strong to the market on a daily chart. All right, 27 items. This is pretty nice. Now this last one might be a little bit tough, but let's see how much it narrows it down. Okay, so there's not a lot of stocks above their prior day high, so we can uncheck that filter. But this gives us a lot of nice candidates to look at. So you can see AMD's on this list. Let's put in pre-earnings. Is there a pre-earnings bull? There is a pre-earnings bull. All right. Let's put in pre-earnings bull here, and let's see what companies are coming up reporting. All right, so this gives us a little bit of extra leeway over here. These stocks tend to rally into earnings 75% of the time. So let's take a quick look at this CTLT over here. And let me get the daily chart up, CTLT. Okay. We're going to first get a nice daily chart. So Dexcom still here. It's doing okay. Pan W at a nice day today, but it may have given back. Yeah, still holding up the gains here, fighting against this trend line. So there's a good chance it might break out. Peak holding up this gap up, which is really nice. PHM not doing much. SAT's not doing much. SITC not doing much. Spot we're already in. Okay. WMG has some trend lines in the way, not super interested in that. So let's take this off over here. Let's do stock up of priority high. Let's see what we get. Okay, CRBG. CRBG is pretty nice steady mover. This looks like probably a life insurance stock. Okay. Yeah, I mean, holding it pretty well. Good volume. Nice breakout. Don't love the price action on the intraday basis, but it is nice on a daily basis over here. So CRG is one that you could trade. Let's look at ELF. I like ELF a little bit more over here. So you can see, yeah, ELF is really nice. It went up and it's been holding and grinding up higher the entire day where the market is down. We have this high plus trend line breakout and it's holding those gains here. So ELF is really, really nice. Let's tag that. That could be the pick of the day here. And we do have some time before earnings. So we got ELF. I don't think we've seen PAGs in the last list. Okay, yeah, PAGs. Rejecting some of these trend lines. Not really doing well. And then let's just look at the AMD chart again. You can see how great this breakout is, how much it stands out relative to all the other things that we've seen. You just need one great pick each day, one or two, and don't settle for things that are not great. Those okay ones are going to take down your P&L. So we have AMD, we have ELF is really nice. A couple other ones we looked at earlier in the day here, Pan W. So it's holding up pretty well here. AVGO. Let's take a look at this guy. So we just want to see stocks that haven't been dragged down too much. So AVGO is not, like, it's still relatively strong because we didn't break through the low while SPY broke through the low. But ideally, I'd want something a little bit stronger. So it's relatively strong. But, again, if I compare it to something like AMD, right? Look at the two charts on a 5-minute basis. AMD is so much stronger than AVGO. So it's hard to really take AVGO over AMD. ELF is one you could definitely take as well. You can see how it held up really well. So we want to see they have nice D1 breakouts, not too out of the gate. Technical breakout over here, and just holding these gains. 2-2 was one I liked a lot earlier in the day, but you can see how it got faked out, right? Look how much it sold off with the market. Still relatively strong to the market a little bit, right? But could not advance through this trend line. So we're gonna have to put an alert, see if 2-2. I don't know why I call it 2-2. It should be called T2, but I just call it 2-2. Just like how I called FTNT Fortnite, but is what it is. So if I had to give a pick of the day, I'm between AMD and I am between ELF. It's tough. They're both pretty great. Both pretty great. But I'm gonna go with ELF. I like the price action on ELF a little bit more. I like how it's been able to hold its gains relative to this market decline. And it's pretty strong chart. Let's see if this is an all-time high. I don't know if it is. Yep, okay, yeah, this is an all-time high. So I am liking ELF a lot. So that is going to be my pick of the day. Yeah, you can see here market's going down. ELF holds all the gains today. Pretty strong here in this previous decline. Yeah, that's my pick of the day. So depending on your style, if you want to take the trade now, you can. I would try to wait until we get a day where we actually make a new high of the day. And then that's when I would take ELF. If you want to have a small starter position, you can do that today and then scale in as the market and the stock kind of confirms your way. But that really depends on, again, your style of trading, how much you allocate, what your market confidence is. There's a lot of factors that flow into this. So yeah, that is it for today, and I will see you all tomorrow.